Hey, Sarah, it's Nicholas from Radio Nation. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's nice to hear your voice again on this program.
Thank you. I know. It's been a while since I've been on the show.
Well, Sarah, it has been a while, and in that time that you were last on here till now, you've done a lot of very, very interesting things, including get signed by a very reputable label in Cash Money Records. I guess since you were last on, which I believe was about August of 2011, until today, just walk us through, or walk people through that have been following your career or maybe don't know what you've been up to, I guess, in that time frame.
After I spoke to you last, I moved from Nashville. It just wasn't really working out, and I went to LA for a little, and I tried to play my songs for a lot of people out there. Nashville was kind of saying that I was too pop, and LA was kind of saying that I was too country, and I was playing the same songs and the same music. So it got to be like super frustrating, as you can imagine. And every label would say this is gray and fresh, and this is different. But maybe it's too country, maybe it's too pop, whatever. The whole spiel. So after LA, I came home being Miami now, just kind of like, I don't know what to do. Everyone says they love the music, but they don't know like where to place me. And I had a phone call from like a friend of a friend of a friend, which is how this business works. And this woman said, oh, I have a record label interested. And I said, yeah, I hear that all the time. It doesn't mean anything. No, for real, Sarah. I want you to meet them. I need your bio. I need Pescod. I need your music now. I want to talk to you now. I said, A, who are you? And B, who is this label? And she was like, it's Cash Money. And it was like silent on the phone. I was like, Little Wayne Cash Money? And she was like, yeah, totally. So, long story short, it's like so crazy that I fit in with Cash Money. It wasn't a country thing or a pop thing, pop country, whatever you want to call it. It was just finding the right people, with the right kind of interest and working with them. And believe it or not, lo and behold, it was Cash Money. So that's how that happened.
When they did reach out to you and things got serious, did they without giving out obviously too much detail on what they want to do with you, but did they give you an idea of what they wanted to do with you? It wasn't just like, so we kind of want to sign you, but if you look at our lineup, you really you don't naturally fit in our lineup. But so did they give you an idea of what they wanted you to do or what they wanted out of you?
Well, I had heard that they're trying to be, more versatile and having more pop acts. Before me, they signed a young pop group also, and they're just trying to branch out into different genres and to have a different market. So I knew that going into it, even though I'm like, I stick out like a sore thumb on the label. And, it's not like I'm going to be hopping on stage with Little Wayne in a duet. They're really that hot for it. I'm not canceling that out. I mean, I'll do it, but but I went, had to kind of go in with an open mind, and them too, because they don't have any, blonde girl princess pop singer on their label. So we were both kind of like, hands in the air. What should we do? We really want to do this. So let's just, do this and see what will happen, because we weren't really positive, how it would work out. So far, they've been just great and amazing, and, music is music, and Cash Money has the name, for one, the branding, the marketing, the promotion, the radio. They have everything, all the elements, that I was missing. So it's not a matter of fitting in, and just because I'm not a rapper doesn't mean it's not going to work. It's just, they're good business people, and that's exactly what I needed. I needed good business people that knew how to work the industry, no matter what you what he looks like. So I'm really lucky, super lucky.
Now, since being signed, and I've been following along on your Facebook page and your Twitter updates and that sort of thing, you've been very busy shooting videos and doing all sorts of musically fun things. Do you want to divulge a little bit into what you've been up to since being signed, and maybe give us a hint or two at any little projects that are coming out, any songs, anything new?
Yeah, well, in the past few months, have started to build like a fan base, and I hate that word, man. I hate that word. I need to find another word. You know another word? I hate that. I feel like, I don't know. I'm not Madonna. I'm not a fan. But I don't know what else to say. I feel like I sound cheesy. But, whatever. I need to have, fan base, people who like my music, and build my social media networking sites, and, that is how the industry is in 2013. So, before I put out a single, or before I put out, a big video, I want to make sure that I have all my bases covered, and I have, water, ground under my feet. So, we've been slowly doing that. I a beautiful music video a few months back that I haven't shown. I'm kind of waiting for the right moment and saving that. So it's kind of all about timing, and Cash Money is very particular with their timing, and they don't want other artists stepping on all the other artists on the label, or the new blonde girl who sings pop country comes right out. I'm not going to come right out after her. So they're very meticulous and very planned and timed. So I'm kind of in this game of figuring out the timing, that everything is set and ready to go. And we're in the process of picking out a single, which is super fun. I have a few videos, like I said, that I'm about to release. I'm slowly growing social media, which is super cool. I'm in the talks of doing a reality show, because I don't know, I find my life really funny. I'm not a funny person per se, but the things that I go through, it's just, I don't know, I think it'd be really good for reality TV. I watch a lot of it, so I know kind of the audience that it draws to. Today, an hour before you called, my fish died. It was really sad, and I cried.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It was my first fish, and if anyone knows me, I'm a super animal lover, and I know people are like, ooh, a fish, they're 50 cents. I love this fish, and I took care of him. And he died. I walked in to get ready for our interview, and he was floating up top. I started crying, and I called people, what do I do? And everyone was like, Sarah, calm down, that's a fish. So, I don't know, I think having all these big moments on camera would be really funny, and the Cash Money lifestyle is pretty funny. I have meetings at 4 a.m. I'm not kidding you, 4 a.m.
Wow.
So it's just a really crazy thing to go through. I went to the BMI Hip Hop Awards, and they assigned me a bodyguard, and it followed me everywhere, even when I went to the bathroom. It's really funny. It's just, I'm not that girl that's used to that or likes it. So it's really funny and awkward, and I think having a camera there to capture these moments with me would be super cool. And I kind of have a whole storyline and plot line, and I have some networks possibly interested in some buzz going on, and so that would be really cool. We're going to do a little pilot over the summer and see how it works, so that'll be fun too, and that'll help me with my single, that later this summer is going to come out. So it'll all fall into place at the right time.
I got two questions here off of Twitter that I'm going to ask first, and they're both from the same person. Her name is Becca, and she's from Quebec, and they're both very good questions. The first question she asks is, does it feel weird to say that you're signed to Cash Money Records? And the second question is, and I'm going to quote her right directly off this. She says, quote, you're incredibly gorgeous. Do you see yourself on tour in 2014?
What was the short mind? What was the first question? Do I feel funny?
Yeah, does it feel weird being signed to say that you're signed to Cash Money?
Yes, I've gotten used to it. At first, definitely. It was really different to get used to, and when I was announced to read all this stuff online, and it was just, 95% of it was great and really cool, and there's that 5% that's kind of like scary slash, I don't know, really scary to read, and it's just, I'm not the normal girl on Cash Money, and it was just kind of weird to get used to, and it comes with the territory, though. I'm like a walking target for criticisms and opinions and stuff, so I loved reading, the comments that were, way more confused than I. That's why I was signed, but like I said, a lot of the other comments were beautiful, and, after a while, when I'm at a show or something and I say, hi, I'm Sarah and I'm signed with Cash Money, the place will be quiet. Whereas before I would say, hi, I'm Sarah, I'm going to sing, and everyone would keep talking. So the name itself has gotten me really far. So I've really gotten used to it. And now I don't feel so funny anymore, and they've really taken me in as part of their family. And I think the second question was about being on tour in 2014. Definitely. After the single comes out, we're going to do like a little radio tour and then kind of an opening act tour. Whenever I have specifics about that, I'll definitely let you know. But thank you for the question. It's very sweet of that person, him or her. I don't know who it was.
It was her, and her name is Becca, and she's from Quebec, here in Canada. I'm going to take another quick question off of Twitter as well. This one comes from Vanessa in Washington State, and she is the queen of asking the most creative and random questions I have ever heard in my whole life. So be ready, because this is a good one. So if you're stranded on a desert island, who are the 3 people you do not take with you on this island?
The 3 people I do not take with me? What does that mean? There's like some deep meaning to this question?
I don't know, but it's she asks it a lot, and it's the answers are pretty creative, so go nuts.
Oh, man. I mean, I'm not like the wittiest person. I'm being put on the spot, Vanessa. Man. I always said the opposite answer of that question. What 3 things would you bring? That's what I'm used to, that question. And I would always say my Uncle Richard, because that's all I need. Just him. I don't need the other 2. He would build a boat out of sand and sticks and float me home. Like, he's the most amazing inventor of whatever you can think of. This side of the question is just very random. I would not bring, oh God. I don't want to be rude, but I think if I was stranded on an island, some of my family members would get a little annoying. I'm sorry, Mom or Dad, if you're listening, but sing us a song. Like, that's how I picture myself on the island, just like constantly singing. So I would probably not bring the family members. Like, maybe I'd just be better off with some strangers. Even though I love my family and I talk to my mom and dad 10 times a day. I would not bring my dog because I would just be absolutely too worried and terrified for him. And I would not bring, what a weird, when I hang up, I'm going to find the best answer to this question and read it. Because I feel like I'm just mumbling some random answer right now. I'm not sure. How would you answer that?
3 people that I wouldn't bring? I don't know. I'd probably just say the people that have doubted me the most in my life. I wouldn't want negative people around. I'd want, like you said, somebody to build a raft so I could get off this island.
Right. I kind of just feel like if the things I wouldn't bring, I would just say nobody. I'd rather just be, I don't want the negative energy, and I don't want, I feel like if you're stranded with someone, you get really annoyed after a while, and you probably just want to drown yourself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just be alone and then just figure my way out. Woo, what a question.
Now we're going to switch back here a little bit more onto your musical career side of things, and talk a little bit about, I guess, your plans in the future. Obviously, you just sort of alluded to, a bit of a tour in 2014. Any plans for an album to come out in between now and the next year and a half or so?
Yes. Well, what the timeline is once the single's released, it'll be like 4 to 6, 7 months that we will work with the single and, do a radio tour and really push it and see the reaction and see what the world thinks, and hopefully all goes well, and then I will put out my record. Instead of just releasing a record of, 12 songs that maybe, people don't click with. So what they do is they kind of, we test the waters. We put a single out, maybe we'll put 2 singles out first, and wait a few months, and then put the record out. So, for sure, in the next year and a half, definitely.
I'm going to ask you a bit of a question, and obviously, you feel free to give your opinion, or if you want to pass on the question, you're more than welcome to. Paris Hilton was just signed to Cash Money Records about a week ago, I would say, and I think to a lot of people, maybe similar to the reaction that you might have heard from yourself, I think a lot of people were really, really shocked that they would go out on a limb and sign her, and I'm sure you saw the reaction all over the internet. I saw it everywhere, and I can personally say I don't think anybody who outside of their inner circle was expecting that kind of a thing. But then looking at it, it shouldn't be something we should expect if we've looked at the last 4 or 5 signings they've made. Well, I guess, what are your thoughts on that, on having her signed? I guess you're not the only blonde girl on their lineup.
Right. Oh, I have a buddy.
There you go.
My buddy's Paris Hilton. Oh my God. That's crazy. Being an artist, we don't know what they're doing, behind the scenes of who they're signing. So I found out with everybody else at the same time. And, I knew she was friends with the Cash Money crew prior, and, she was in Birdman and Lil Wayne and Nicki's music video Tap Out that just came out. She kind of made like a cameo. So she's been hanging, with this crew before. She's at the parties a lot. And, Cash Money is just about surprising people and creating a buzz, whether people are talking bad or people are talking good. People are talking, period. And that's what they do. And, they've been obviously friends with Paris Hilton, and she is a huge name and a huge brand, and it's just, a match made in heaven to have this ginormous brand as Paris Hilton signed to the biggest hip-hop brand in the world. It's like he's mixing, oil and water, but it's a combination that will, burst and it'll work. Everyone's talking about it. I think it's great. I think it's incredible. I think walking around with Paris Hilton is not going to hurt me at all. It's only going to help me to be super, super cool and have everybody talking. So personally, I thought it was a great decision. It's what they do. They surprise people. I was definitely surprised. I'm super curious, as everyone else probably, what kind of music and what she'll be doing and singing. But, they promote and they can kind of do whatever the heck they want to do because they put themselves in that position. They're so successful, they can do whatever. And they do, and they have fun with it. And they find friends and family, and it's a business that's successful, but it's a fun thing for them. They find, I think, Davies, one of the CEOs, signed his daughter to their book company. They have a book company, Cash Money Book Company, and Lil Wayne signed his daughter to their Cash Money Book Company, and now the 2 girls are having their own books put out, and they're super successful, and, it's just about branding and having fun and being a family together, so I see nothing bad can come out of that.
Now, you're originally from Detroit, Michigan, or the Detroit area, and now you find yourself in Miami, Florida. Do they their studio, you mentioned to me sort of off the air earlier this year that their studio is actually not too far away from where you live. Do they have other studios that across the country that you get to sort of go and hang out with them in, or is it really just one area that they have in Florida?
From what I know, their base is here in Florida, right next to where my studio is. That's kind of where they have all their meet and greets and their meetings and all their artists and all their producers and DJs. They all kind of work out in the Miami area.
Now, you talked about, you mentioned earlier that you moved down from Nashville to Florida, which I guess for somebody who is an aspiring country pop singer, lots of people dream that don't get the chance to move to Nashville, to go to Nashville, and you kind of took the opposite route in going to Nashville and then deciding to leave. What was the thought process like going through your head in deciding to relocate to Florida? And I guess talk me through why you decided to leave.
It was just, for me personally, it was, I made the big move on my own, and from Michigan to Nashville, and I did my thing, and I tried my hardest for almost 4 years, and it just, it didn't work out, and I kind of had met with every single label twice, with the CEO of every label, and, everyone said, this is great, this is perfect, can't wait, I would love to work with you, and, nothing would ever come of that, nothing would ever happen, so I was kind of like, okay, everyone loves the music, they love the writing, they love the look, they love the videos, but I'm still not doing anything. Maybe Nashville isn't really the place. And it got to be super frustrating and a little bit, suffocating when there's a lot of amazing, beautiful, talented people in Nashville. And I mean, guys, so talented. And it was just depressing to see somebody with so much to offer, and, they're not making it either. I was one of a million. And, I spent my days going to the Bluebird and going to all these writers' rounds and singing songwriter things, and everyone was so good, and it was just like, wow, they're so good, and they're still trying to make it, and here I am, not that good of a songwriter as this guy, so I'm beneath that, and I'm still not making it either. So it was kind of a personal choice to kind of relocate and see what I could do, and Miami became an option, and I came down here, and, being a pop country singer girl from Detroit was, like, cool in Miami, because there's not many, and I started getting gigs, and I started getting demos, and I started getting a little bit of attention and a buzz, and that's all I was craving for, but I was kind of, just one in the crowd in Nashville, so I felt like I got to breathe a little more in Miami, but I love Nashville, and the people there, like I said, so talented, so good. It was just, for me personally, a little suffocating.
Sarah, before we let you go tonight, I guess, how do people get a hold of you that haven't had a chance to follow you on Twitter or find you on Facebook or Instagram or any of the various social media sites that you do use?
Yes, definitely Twitter. It's at Sarah Lenore. Obviously, Lenore is Lenore. And Instagram's the same. My YouTube channel's the same. Sarah Lenore. Like I said, I'm trying to build my base and my social media networking sites and stuff. So give me a shout out. I'll definitely say hi or retweet or send a photo or whatever I need to do. I will definitely do it to gain some more people.
Sarah, the last question tonight comes from Vanessa in Washington again, and it's not as crazy as the last one, but it's a funny question, and she comes up with good ones. If you were a cereal, which cereal would you be?
I was cereal, like eating like breakfast?
That's correct. If you were any cereal, what would you be?
I would cereal is so like vibrant and colorful with like the dried up fruits and everything. I just, I drink a lot of water. I try to stay purified. I go to the gym. I'm very like, into that mood. So I would be like one of the healthy, pretty cereals, except they're super expensive, so I don't eat them. But I would be one of those. I don't know what they're called. Do you know what they're called? I don't even know.
I can't think of it on the top of my head. I'm sure I'll think of it as soon as we go off the air, though.
Exactly. Tweet me, let me know.
For sure. All right. Well, Sarah, it's been a privilege talking to you again, and we'll have you back on as soon as you release some new material out, and we'll have some more to talk about. But it's always nice to have you on the air, and it's a pleasure to be talking to you again.
Thank you. I love being on the show. I feel like my local go-to radio channel. I love it. Thank you for having me.
Well, you're always welcome on this program anytime you like. So again, Sarah, enjoy the weather down in Florida. It's currently raining here, so I'm jealous of you, especially when it's winter here.
I'm like burning. It's so hot.
Yeah.
It's so hot in my house right now.
Well, I would take that weather over rain. You're very welcome, Sarah. Take care.
Bye.
And there you have it. That is Sarah Lenore from Miami, Florida.